Let's break down UFC Fight Night, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. Let's get it. Card opens up Chanel Dyer versus Elise Reed. I'm going Dyer here. She has youth on her side. Overall, I feel like she's just in a better place in her career. Reed is super tough. I do think this one might go to decision. Give me Dyer by decision. Jackson McVeigh versus Wes Schultz. I'm going to go with McVeigh here. Wes Schultz is really a submission or die type of guy. And if he doesn't get the submission or can't get into position, it could be a tough time. But maybe stick with it like he did his last fight. But McVeigh, huge advantage on the feet. And he's no slouch on the ground. He's got some submissions of his own. Give me McVeigh by knockout. Gage Young versus Stan Dorsainville. This one is super close. Dorsainville coming in, super powerful, pushes a heavy pace, just insane pressure. I am going to go with Gage Young. I just feel like a veteran in the UFC of multiple fights at this point. Dorsainville is going to be super challenging, but I trust the gas tank. I trust the veteranness comparatively to Dorsainville, but I am going to go with Young by decision. Marcio Barboza versus Ryan Coos. I am going to go with Barboza. I feel like you have to. Ryan is coming in on super short notice, and to fight a guy like Barboza, that's tough. So I'm going to go Barboza by knockout. Next, we got Nazarak Hakparas versus Chris Padilla. This one's super close. Two absolute veterans of the sport, probably some of the best fighters outside of the top 15 in the division. I'm going to go with Chris Padilla here. I feel like he does more inside the clinch that I think is so valuable to create damage. His elbows in close, his knees, everything is super valuable here. Hakparas, his wrestling game is something to think about, and he does throw a heavy right hand, but overall, I'm going to go with Chris Padilla by decision. Next, we got Shamil Gaziev versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. I am going to go with Gaziev here. I just think overall a better heavyweight fighter than Nzechukwu. I don't know. I think Gaziev has a advantage basically wherever the fight goes here. Give me Shamil by knockout. Jamal Emmers versus Larian Douglas. Going with Larian Douglas here. Jamal Emmers, veteran, but Larian Douglas showed insane power in his last fight, and I think with Emmers being 37 years old, not the most active fighter, Larian Douglas, I just think it's his time right now. Give me Douglas by knockout. Next, we got Anthony Wint versus Terrence Chapman. This is going to be Wint. This is set up for him to win. He gets it done by knockout. Next, we got Carly Judice versus Jesla Chavez. This one, I feel, can go under the radar. These two are very fun strikers. Overall, I'm going to go with Carly Judice. I feel she is the more dynamic striker, has the harder resume, and I think she is one of the better unranked fighters in this division. Give me Judice by knockout. Markel Medeiros versus Mason Jones. I'm going to go with Mason Jones here, though I feel like this fight is going to be a good fight because Mason Jones puts on good fights. Markel Medeiros, he showed he can hang with a really creative striker like Chris Padilla, so I don't count him out whatsoever. Mason Jones is just, I feel, another level of tough. He can get hurt, but his boxing is really good. He gets better the more damage he takes, and I think Medeiros can't match that level of grit at this point. Give me Mason Jones by tough decision. Rainier de Ridder versus Roman Dolidze. I'm going to go with de Ridder here. I'm going to assume that moving up to 205 pounds is going to be better for him, going to be better for the cardio. Dolidze, if he can stuff some takedowns, I do feel like he can win this fight and just go off of striking cardio. But de Ridder, not depleting himself on a weight cut, he does have the grappling advantage, and we saw Dolidze get ragdolled by guys like Fluffy Hernandez. So I think if de Ridder has a similar game plan, he can get it done. Give me Rainier de Ridder by submission. Sergey Spivak versus Vitor Petrino. I'm going to go with Spivak here. I'm just not convinced with Petrino yet. I know he looks the part, but I'm not convinced. He got dropped by Asplin. If Asplin didn't have such a crazy weight cut, that fight probably would have gone different. He beat Thomas Peterson and Austin Lane. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Sergey Spivak looked really good in his last fight against Ante Delija. His boxing looked like it almost improved overnight. His striking, which was a downside to him, looked super crisp. So I am going to go with Sergey Spivak to get it done here. Give me Spivak by decision. Then we got the main event, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Gregory Rodrigues. I am not upset with anybody who wants to go with either guy here. Fluffy Hernandez, if he can implement his grappling, he is one of the biggest problems in the division. The only issue is, can he get it there? If it has to stay on the feet, he struggles and he gets hurt on the feet. And I think a guy like Gregory Rodrigues, the run that he's been on, he's looking better. He's looking like he's improving. I am going to go with Rodrigues here. I just can't trust Anthony Hernandez on the feet to not get hurt. And I think Rodrigues can get the big shot and land the knockout. This fight could go the complete opposite, and Hernandez can really take this into deep waters, and would not surprise me whatsoever. But I am going to go with Gregory Rodrigues by knockout.